NBA Straya, how are you going? How you going? I hope you're right. Why is that, Jim? Well, you should be. It's Tuesday. I mean, what else are you going to do? It's Tuesday. That's all there is to it. This is NBA Straya. It's Tuesday, March 4. I am your host, James Clements. I'm here in Larry Armour Studios. Quick hitter Tuesday. I love a good quick hitter on Tuesday. SGA drops 50. We got another disaster for the Mavs. We got a Dyson Daniels walk-off game-winning steal. I'll tell you what, the face of the league debate. LeBron's having a sook. Anyway, we'll wrap up the games today very quickly. We'll do the awards, do the Australian Player Watch, and then set you up for tomorrow. And that's all we do on Tuesdays now. Just a nice quick one to check in and make sure you're doing all right. You know what's going on. So, let's stop screwing around. Let's get into it. Episode 1217. 17 of NBA Australia. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Miss Creek. This is Nick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia. You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Australia.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the Shaq attack.
You better watch out for the Dyson Daniels attack. How good was that? Steal from your Defensive Player of the Year. A game-winning walk-off steal to throw it over to Karis LeVert after snagging it from Desmond Bain. I loved it. Great job by our man Dyson. Otherwise, let's get into it with the daily. Better news is there, Jim. There's a little bit. Kyrie Irving. Oh, no. Just when Mavs fans basically couldn't cop any more kicks in the dick, Kyrie Irving hurts his knee. God. This stinks. But Jim, don't you hate Kyrie? I think he's a bit of a dunderhead. But since he's been in Dallas, he hasn't put a fucking foot wrong, and he's been incredible. I love watching Kyrie Irving play basketball. That's kind of always been my thing about Kyrie. He's an amazing basketball player. Way better basketball player than person. Anyway, thing is, this sucked. He lands no contact sort of knee injury. His hammy just goes a bit wobbly on top of it, or his quad. People are sort of, I love good internet doctors. How good are Twitter doctors? It's like, that's this thing that happens when this thing does it. All right, I'm not a doctor. I don't care. What I do know is that Kyrie is a warrior. Got helped back onto the court, took his free throws, i.e. Kobe, i.e. Clay. He was in tears at the free throw line, was Kyrie. So, yeah, it looked bad. The Mavs are calling it at the moment a left knee sprain until they get further imaging done. I don't know. It didn't look great. And if you lose Kyrie for any stretch of time, again, the Mavs season might just be a little bit cooked. Because, we've got Spencer Dinwiddie and Dante Exum. It's like, yeah, you had them today as well. And you got your heads kicked in to the tune of 24 points by the Sacramento Kings. I don't think it's a good look from here on out. Just saying. And they are in the 10 spot. They're 32-30. So, yeah, you have zero margin for error at this point if you're the Mavs. And, Phoenix are just sitting there going, hang on, we're only, 3.5 games back. You telling me there's a chance? Anyway, that sucks for Kyrie. It sucks for the Mavs fans. And I'll talk about it again quickly later. But hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it is just a left knee sprain and nothing more, serious. But that stinks. The Souvlaki King, Domantas Sabonis. Speaking of injuries and speaking of the Kings, he was diagnosed with a grade 1 hammy. So, yeah, bit of a tough one for him. Grade 1, it just means hopefully he'll be back soon-ish. And Sacramento just sort of have to keep their, heads above water. And as I mentioned on yesterday's show, this is the sheer fortune of trading for My Name is Jonas Valanciunas. Means you've got a ready-made backup who can sort of step in and do a bit of spot starting for you. So good job by the Suva. Hopefully he's all right. Grade 1 hammy for him. Ty Jerome got fined $25,000 for the criticism of the refs that I was talking about yesterday. Natalie had a shocker. Jesus, Ty, what are you doing? And the other little bit of news, I mean, the face of the league stuff was sort of popping off yesterday after LeBron finally weighed in. And I want to sort of dig into this a little bit more. Like, basically on tomorrow's show, I'll do probably a couple of year-nahs about it, I reckon. It is one of the dumbest things. We've never faced so much negativity. Just fucking get off Twitter. What do you mean? Because Gilbert Arenas was saying, oh, man, it was all fucking hunky-dory when I was playing. No, it wasn't. Everybody shit on Gilbert Arenas all the fucking time. Because he was a lunatic and then brought guns to a locker room. We just didn't have fucking such rampant social media quite at the, state it is of now, which is a fucking cesspit. So, it's just weird. It's just weird. And, I would prefer that, if there's not one giant dominant fucking overall person running roughshod over the NBA that everything relies on, them getting to the finals. I just fucking like good basketball. Call me crazy. And if Tatum's really good at basketball, awesome. Ant-Man, Jokic, Giannis, Luka, still fucking LeBron somehow, Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler. Don't care. I just want good basketball. The face of the league, if there's fucking 8 good faces, market them better, you fucking idiots. This isn't rocket surgery. Right? It's like MJ wasn't the face of the league for fucking ages until he actually started winning. And now we've got a bunch of winners and a bunch of different MVPs. Oh, no one's the face. Shut up, idiots. Anyway, I'll do more of that tomorrow, I reckon. I just don't like LeBron having a suit. We've never had it so hard. Shut up. You're richer than fucking ever. Finally, the Mavs. Just the kicks and the dicks just keep coming. They're raising their ticket prices. It's amazing. I got a couple more thoughts about this later on, but how dumb do you have to be in that franchise right now? You got the dumbest people in the world. And then finally, Players of the Week. Zachy Cakes Adam Levine actually won West Player of the Week. He averaged a lazy 28.5. Went 3-0, obviously, with the Kings. Shot 63% from 3 while he was doing it. And Jalen Brunson won it for the East. 29 points a game, 5 rebounds, 6.3 assists. They also won all 3 of their games. That's very nice. Right, let's do some game wraps from today. Game wraps. 7 weird games today. 7 very strange ones. Watching them all. Sitting there going, this is just a weird slate. You got the Steph Curry Bowl of, the Warriors and the Hornets. And the Warriors never fucking broke a sweat and kicked the shit out of them 119-101. Steph had 21 and 10. He didn't really give him much of a fuck. It was we'll just let pods do it, which is the way you should. Jimmy Butler, he was fine. But they got 22 from Buddy Hield and you're just fucking rolling. The Hornets are an absolute dumpster fire. LaMelo is actually back and playing. 25-9-7, but yeah, they're still shit. 14-46, that Hornets team. 33-26 now for the Warriors, which keeps them up in the top 6 at the moment, having just snuck ahead of the Clippers into the 6th seed. Very nice, very nice. Next up, we have Portland. Yes, my beloved Blazers. They're running rampant through the East. 119-102. They kicked the crap out of the Sixers. It's close for a bit, and then they just put the foot down in the second half. The third quarter, they smashed them. Do-up, bop, do-up. Had a good run too. I'll talk about him later in this Australian Player Watch. But Anthony Penny-Simons was fantastic. Hit 6 threes. He had 34 points. The Sixers are... It's like, just sit Tyrese Maxey. What's he doing? He went 2... He's going to pop up again in a second. But, geez, Andre Drummond had 25 and 18. But, yeah, Sixers are cooked. They're 21 and 39. Pack her up, boys. You're done. Blazers 28 and 34. I love him. Oh, just love him. Washington put up a little bit of a fight, and then Miami just kind of choked them out. It was like they had 36 points at the half. And you're like, this is just sad. I was thinking they could sort of keep up with the Wiz in terms of just we'll play a couple of our old dudes. And they played like Chris Middleton and like no one else. And like all the kids. I'm like, oh, yeah. Marcus Smart played like 19 minutes, and that was kind of it. So, Tyler, there goes my hero. I had the 16, but they got 17 from I'd like to have a beer with Duncan Robinson. And 19 and 15 from Bam Adebayo. Wiz 11 and 49, hilarious vibes. And the Heat are 29 and 31. Still, like the 29 and 31 Heat, they're in the 7th spot. They're 5 games back of Detroit now. It's just, Detroit also got a win. But then an awesome game. We had the Atlanta Hawks beat the Memphis Grizzlies on that buzzer-beating winning steal from Dyson Daniels. He kicks it ahead to Karis. My sweet baby Karis LeVert for the game-winning buzzer-beating layup. 132-130. He scored 16 points in the fourth quarter to Karis. It was unreal. Just a huge comeback from the Hawks, who were just sort of like dead in the water for a big bunch of this, and then just put the foot down. I think they scored the final 7 points of that game over the last 2.5 minutes, and the Grizzlies just didn't score. Desmond Bane had a triple-double. He had, 35, 10, and 10. No Ja Morant. They lose Triple J, and we'll talk about this in a second about Dyson Daniels. But I'll tell you what. No Santi Aldama, no Ja Morant. Jaren Jackson Jr. goes down a couple of minutes in the game with a left ankle injury, trying to block Dyson, trying to win his Defensive Player of the Year. No, Dice, pal, gets himself hurt. I'm just saying, if you've got your Dyson Daniels one in there for Defensive Player of the Year, you got to be feeling pretty interested. Just saying. Good stuff there. Thing is, the way that Atlanta just ran over the top of the Grizzlies, this is what I was talking about yesterday in weekend winners and losers. The Grizzlies just have these weird games and they just crap the bed down the stretch and they just I just don't know what happened. And they lose. It was weird as. It's like this weird lack of execution despite Desmond Bane and Kennard being solid and everything, but oof. There's this weird, strange lack of... they're 38-23. They've won a shit ton of games, but over the last 3 weeks, it just looks super janky. I don't know. Their defense has sort of just looked all discombobulated. They keep giving up a crap ton of points. And the Hawks, look, their defense outside of Dyson Daniels is shocking. Anyway, Zachary Risachet, the number one pick, the least talked about number one pick of all time. 27 points and 4 steals for him, but either way. Atlanta 28-33. They're in the 9 spot rather. Trying to basically track down the Heat in the 7 spot. They're a half game back of the Magic. So, getting interesting there. And the Grizz 38-23, as I mentioned yesterday, just only a game ahead of the Rockets in the 5 spot. Anyway, speaking of the Rockets, they lost in OKC 128-137, and they had no dudes left. Jock Landale got the start. They benched Jalen Green down the stretch for, I don't know, he wasn't having a great game, but it was weird. And they went with Jack McVeigh instead. That's right, the Unabomber got his first minute since bloody November. And they still lost because SGA had 51. J-Dub couldn't quite get it going. He had, 41 yesterday. He ends up with 24, but the 51 for SGA was absolutely massive. He hit 5 threes, kept getting back to the line. Free throw merchant. But it was everywhere else. Having Chet out there makes such a big difference. But the Rockets, it's so hard to judge them. They had no Amen Thompson, no Dylan Brooks, no Fred VanVleet, no Steven Brew, no Shengut, nobody, basically, right? They're starting Reed Shep and our man Jock Landale. Cam Whitmore was fantastic, 27-11 for him. And yeah, it's just this is just a lot of N'Faly Dante. It's just okay, geez, bro. But Jack McVeigh came in. That was fun. Good job by the Thunder. They're now 50-11. Chaos. Rockets 37-24. And then the last couple of ones, Sacramento kicked the shit out of Dallas, 122-98. And that was just a bit of a laugher after the sort of first quarter. They put 34-16, I think, in the third. And Levine, Keegs, Murray, DeRozan, all just sort of cooked them. None of the Dallas starters got into double figures. Yeah, it's not going great there in Dallas, is it? Jesus! Spencer Dinwiddie, horrible. Max Christie, look, he got into 10 points at least. Najee Marshall had 18 off the bench, but god damn. Clay, nothing. Dante, nothing. Kyrie gets hurt. Oof, brutal. Kings now moved to 32-28, as I mentioned. Actually, right there, they're in the 8 spot right now. They're tied with the Clippers for 7-8. And then the Mavs, 32-30, they're in the 10 seed. Very tough scenes. And then finally, as mentioned, Detroit absolutely kicked the crap out of the Jazz. It's a soft J, 134-106. All of their starters had double digits. It was awesome. 29 for Cade, 9 assists as well. Ran over the top of the Jazz, who just looked all out of sorts. Kyle Filipowski was their best player. And that's probably not good. He had 25. That's not bad. Anyway, the Jazz are now 15-46. Detroit firmly locked in the 6th seed in the East at 35-27. Let's do an NBA Australia Pro Performer of the Night. Oh, yes.
That's not that nice. That's a knife.
Probably the bloke who had 51 points, Jim. Yeah, that's right. SGA was incredible. So I was watching a bunch of that Rockets Thunder game because it was obviously awesome. Despite the Rockets not having anyone, I'm like, well, we get to see Jock in the starting role. This is fun. 51 points, 18 of 30 from SGA, though. 5 of 9 from downtown. Not a three-point shooter, but absolutely crushed it. Very much enjoyed that. Outside of that, though, I mean, you've also got, I don't know, a bloke named Dyson Daniels with a game-winning steal. That's a hell of a knife. He's like, oh, you think you're going to sort of like while down the clock and then take the final shot? Nah, I'm going to steal the ball. Fuck you. And you're like, that is awesome. What an absolute legend. And my sweet baby Karis LeVert, talk about a knife, 16 points in the fourth quarter, absolutely going hammer and tongs. That was fantastic. What a legend. But SGA, absolutely gnarly. 35, 10 and 10 for Desmond Bain as well, but still. A game-winning walk-off steal from Dyson Daniels, a 50 burger for SGA. I think SGA's got the MVP. If he has like 2 more awesome games like this in big spots against good teams, he's got it. So, anyway, Spud of the night.
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. We had Keon Ellis go 0 of 7. Ball G's. 2 of 13 for Tyrese Maxey against Portland. Ball gross. 2 of 12 for Spitzel. Spencer Dinwiddie. 3 of 14 for my beloved Denny Avdija. Yeesh. You had 3 of 12 for Nick Smith Jr., 5 of 17 for Trae Young. What was it? 2 of 10 as well, I think, for Dante. Not very good. But I would like to very much thank GG Jackson for going out there and for the Memphis Grizzlies shooting. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cheer. Woo. Thank you, GG Jackson, for shooting 311. Love that. All right, how about a bit of old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mates.
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 Who's got no mates today? That would be the Dallas Mavericks front office. What is that, Jim? Well, they've just raised ticket prices after trading away the franchise face. So it's just like, get out of the, like, dig up, stupid. Right? It's amazing. I was talking about this with a buddy of mine who worked in PR and specifically crisis PR. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, yo, at some point, someone in that room has to go, are we sure that this is the right thing to do right now? Like, just, we don't need more money. We're richer than fucking God, right? Like, let's just fucking smooth this out for this season. And then hopefully AD and Kyrie are back next year and they're all good and we're fucking feeling okay. And hopefully the Lakers don't win the title. And then we'll raise season ticket prices. And they're like, nah, let's raise season ticket. You fucking morons. And my PR mate, he's like, yeah. The comms person was probably like, hey guys, this is a terrible idea and here's how it plays out. And then him or her gets overruled anyway and they end up with the poor fucking PR person having to eat all the shit from all the fucking angry people out there and all the media like me going, you were a bunch of fucking idiots, Mavericks. Like, it's amazing. And it's such an easy thing to do, to just not raise prices for the Dallas Mavericks. You're making money hand over fist. Like, you're also like coming from a family who has fucking, as I said, more money than God. Like, what are you doing? It's such a layup to not do that. Like, it's just, don't do it. Very simple. Pantsing of the night. Shaden Sharp just yammed one on Drummond today, which is pretty fun. Enjoyed that a lot. He just went whoopang. That was pretty good. I also forgot to mention that Tyrese Maxey took a big fall before in that game, so hopefully he's all right. But yeah. Outside of that, what else there? Jalen Duren. Malik Beasley had a sick dunk as well, but Jalen Duren also had a massive block towards the end of that game on Colin Sexton. We're like, oh, they're already dead. Stop it. Stop. He's already dead kind of vibes. Anyway, better than Bronny James.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. One of the dudes I did not mention that much of in that Rockets game was Reed Shepherd. He was absolutely awesome. The young Rocket. You might remember him. He's the number 3 pick from last year. He's barely played. Remember how he got named for the fucking G League in the Rising Stars games? Dude, He's an NBA player. What the fuck is going on here? Anyway, his first career start, he had 25 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Shot 10 of 17 from the floor and 3 of 7 from downtown. Easily better than Bronny James or Lonzo Ball or Ben Simmons. But that was awesome. It was just really fun. I've got a yeah nah from, I think Dan D sent that one through. But yeah, we'll do yeah nahs and stuff tomorrow. Because fuck it, Tuesday is the quick one. But great job. Reed Shepherd looked awesome. I love that people are like, yeah, he's like a combination of like, oh, he's like Mark Price. I'm like, fuck that. He's like a combination of Mark Price and Shane Heal. Let's go. Friend of the program, Shane Heal. Fuck yes. Right. Let's do the Australian Player Watch right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Daryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy. This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia. And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
All right, Australian Player Watch for Tuesday, March 4, all day. We had a bunch of the Aussies in action today, and as I mentioned earlier in the show, what an awesome surprise it was to see Jack McVeigh out there in that game for the Rockets. But anyway, let's start with Josh Green. He was the first cab off the rank in that 119-101 loss to the Golden State Warriors. He had a Barry Crocker shocker, did Greeny. Old Scott Green. 2 points, 0 of 3 shooting, 0 of 2 from downtown. He went 2 of 3 at the line, at least, with 1 rebound. That was a tough 26 minutes and a tough game for the Hornets. How about that Rockets game, though? Oh, actually, we'll do Do-Up first. Do-Up, bob, do-up. The Great Barrier Reef. In that win over Philly, he had 18 minutes, hashtag free Do-Up. He had 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. Looked awesome. Went 5 of 6 from the floor and 3 of 4 from downtown. That was unreal. How is he, like, it annoys me no end that the Blazers have just buried him there as their 4th big all season. Whereas, like, I don't know, get him on the Lakers. He'd be carving it up. Do you know how good he would be on the Lakers? You got a stretch 5 next to LeBron and Luka. I'm just saying, they don't have any big dudes. And the Blazers are like, oh, we're not going to trade any of them. We've got DeAndre Ayton and Klingon and Robert Williams. And it's like, you can't give us an offer to get any of them from us. Just free up, hashtag free Do-Up. Free up some playing time for him. Anyway, no Aussie Matty team that game. However, still out with his ankle. Anyway, that Rockets Thunder game where we've got Alex Dukas on one side. Copter did not play coach's decision in the 137-128 win. Whereas on the other side, Jock Landale got his first start for the season, which is very fun with no Steven Adams there, no Şengün. Gets the start, played 21 minutes, started off perfect from the floor, 3 of 3, 3 for free. Ends up with 6 points on 3 of 6 shooting, misses his next 3. Missed a really nice bunny in the lane, which, like, if that goes in, we know that Jock is a massive, massive, massive confidence player. I reckon if he hits that little bunny in the lane, he would have been flying. But either way, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 0 of 1 from downtown with 2 turnovers. Interesting run for Jock. But then, of course, towards the end of the game, out of nowhere, here comes the Unabomber, Jack McVeigh, a.k.a. Jack McTray. His first game since November. Gets out there for 7 minutes and just goes, bang! Bang! 2 of 2 from downtown. He had 6 points and was a +5. Like, it was awesome. It was absolutely electric gear, and I am absolutely here for more Jack McVeigh NBA minutes. It was gnarly. He didn't do anything else. He hit 2 threes, had the 6 points, and that was it. His first game since November 23. Absolutely unreal. Great job, Jack McVeigh. We love him here on NBA Australia. Especially love his tweets. Anyway, and finally, Dante Exum in the loss to Sacramento. Kyrie Irving goes out hurt. 22 minutes for Dante. Only 5 points. It came on 2 of 10 shooting. Hit a couple of forays to the rim that looked very, very nice. But I don't know, just like the defense was pretty good. He went short on a couple as well. 1 of 3 from downtown, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. The Mavs got their heads kicked in by Sacramento, so it was a -17. But you get that on the big jobs. And there you go. That's Australian Player Watch for today, Tuesday, March 4 on NBA Australia. Right, let's get into it. Game previews for tomorrow. Told you this is a quick hitter. Game previews. Game previews. Right. What do we got? We've got a big Wednesday ahead. And remember, as mentioned yesterday, you can go find all of our vibes, all of our picks over on Dabble just bang the link in the show description or in the Instagram or Facey stories. I think it might even be under the Twitter. Yeah, that's right. It's a reply in the Twitters, isn't it? So the video goes out every morning. The drop-off vibes. I've dropped the squids off, and there we go. Got a couple of my favourite ones. We also throw up a couple of interesting ones that we're also looking at, same game multis, etc. But all of the picks and everything are there as well, so you can keep track of them and follow along how we're doing. Still crushing along at 58% for the season. So the thing is, just make sure, if you have already signed up prior to yesterday, I don't know, just saying, you might want to delete that profile, come back and create a new one. That'd be handy, but do it after clicking the link from me in the show description. I'll explain later in the week. But either way, it's all over at Dabble. Jump in the links in the show description. Sign up if that's your thing. And if not, it's all good. You don't have to. Tell them NBA Straya sent you as well. Use the code NBA Straya. Tomorrow, we have a massive amount of games. Unfortunately, a bunch of these games, you got teams that are on back-to-back, so it's a bit janky. But Houston go to Indy. And with Houston having no dudes left today against the Thunder, they put up a pretty good fight. But Indy at home is a different beast altogether. Especially that point guard defense. That Tyrese Halliburton will absolutely try to carve him up. And the direct correlation is if he gets 20 points, they win. So the Pacers are 4.5-point favorites. They've been playing pretty well. I'm going to take the Pacers in that one. Loved Houston today. Don't like them tomorrow. Toronto go to Orlando. This is a weird one. The Magic are 6.5-point favorites at home. Do you like that? All right, settle down there, Kirk Cousins. The Raptors on the road, we know that they're horrible, right? They're 6-23. And the Magic men, however, have just been flat out bad. So I think the Magic turn around and win this one. They've lost 3 on the trot. I don't know if they cover the 6.5 though, right? The Raptors did lose in Chicago by 10. They lost by 20 to the Pacers. 10 to the Celtics. Oh, can Orlando get that done? That is harsh. Just don't know. Especially with the injuries that they're dealing with, like Grady Dick, sort of questionable as well. I kind of still like the fact that the Raptors might be able to keep up. I think Orlando win. Toronto cover the plus 6.5. There we go. Milwaukee go to Atlanta. So again, this would have been a really fun game, but for the simple fact that the Hawks are on a back-to-back. So we'll go the Bucks in this one, minus 5.5. Dame, Giannis, and co. Even a bit of spicy Kuzma. Don't mind this. I think I like the Bucks 5.5. Hawks was so good today, but that's just such an emotional end of the game winner on the road. You go home, you're on a late flight. Milwaukee come in, having not played. I think the Bucks get them. Golden State at the Knicks. How good is this? I mentioned the other day, one of the games that I went to in New York in 2013 or whatever, Steph had 50. There's also a game I think we went to a year later where he had a triple-double. I've got to figure out all those dates. They're all mixed up in my brain. But this should be awesome. But unfortunately, again, the Warriors just played today. It sort of sucks, right? Yes, they did kick the crap out of the Hornets, but the Knicks are 4.5-point favorites, and I kind of think the Knicks are probably a little bit more solid across the board. With Brunson carving it up, Cat out there again, the other Mitch Robinson, they're probably a little bit too big and a little bit too good. So I'm going to go the Knicks minus 4.5. Cleveland's go to Chicago. They're 11.5-point favorites. I don't think anyone's touching Cleveland at this point. They've won, 10 on the trot? Portland did push them the other day, but Chicago's defense is, shall we say, bereft. So I'm going to go the Cavs. Philly go to Minnesota. Again, the Sixers played today and looked absolutely out of their depth at home against the Blazers. They're no chance in Minnesota. This is a big Julius Randle game as well, isn't it? We'll try to get Julius back up to speed. 12.5-point favorites. Not even really afraid of that one for the Wolves. Let's go Minnesota. Brooklyn go to San Antonio, who I feel like they play pretty tough. No Wemby. I don't mind the Nets plus 4.5 on the road there in San Antonio. They just play pretty tough a lot of the time. I mean, they have these weird janky games every so often, but they lost pretty badly to the Pistons, but that was a pretty tight one. They lost to the Blazers pretty badly. Oh, yeah, they are losing by a lot. Actually, reverse that. We're going San Antonio. Yes, minus 4.5 for the Spurs. We then have the Clippers in Phoenix. Because remember, think about the Spurs. They've got Fox and stuff still. They'll be fine. Stephon Castle might be better than anyone in Brooklyn. Cam Johnson shot 3 of 20 the other day. What are we doing? Clippers minus 2.5 in Phoenix. The Suns are just a mess. Booker, KD, Beal. You got Brad Beal pushing dudes midair, unapologetic about it. He's going to pop up later in the week. But the Clippers are also just like super solid. If they have Norm back, you've got Ben Simmons. They're just sort of deep. They're pretty good. And the Suns are a mess. I'm going the Clippers -2.5 in Phoenix. And then finally, New Orleans at the Lakers, a.k.a. the Anthony Davis Bowl that no longer is. Oh, no. The Pelicans are +7.5 in LA. I think LA win this. I think the Pelicans cover, though. You just think about Zion, CJ, etc. The Pels are kind of just a bit tough. I don't think they're wildly easy beats. Especially, like, I don't know, all their wing dudes. They've actually got a couple of them back. They're playing slightly tougher than they had. They beat the Jazz by 7. They've won 4 of their last 5. So they went and beat the Suns a couple of times. Kelly Olynyk has been giving them very good minutes. Eve's Missy. So Tremor. So I think I'll go the Pelicans to keep this one interesting. +7.5, but the Lakers win it. And there you go. That's it for today. How good is a good Tuesday quick hitter? Just makes my life a little bit more manageable so I can go get the squids and everything and let old mate take a little bit of a load off. But either way, we'll be back on deck tomorrow with the full up middle of the week show. Might do a bit of a standings check or power rankings. I think I'll do power rankings. I haven't done them for a couple of weeks. So make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube, all over the place. This is what we do. Get around NFL Australia as well. Myself and Gaz, we did the Super Bowl wrap a couple of weeks ago. That was fun. He then pissed off the Barley. So, sure. Anyway, check us a rating review for those on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. However you're listening to this show, rate, review, star, comment. I don't ask for much. I just ask for that. And, of course, get around the pics at Dabble. Click in the show. There's a link in the show description. There's also a link on the socials, all that sort of stuff. So go check it out if that's your thing. If it's not, sure. It's all good, man. I don't care. Either way, big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song They Rule. So to House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ram, Shakalami, Iowa, Section A, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. Smash them all on Bandcamp, Triple J Earth, Facey, Apple Music, Spotify. However you support and listen to your bands, do so. NBA Australia supports Australian bands, so should you. All right, that's it for today. We will catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Australia saying, how good was a quick Tuesday? Love that. Later, Hosanna!